Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Daria Reactions. I'm Fred. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. We are continuing our journey through MTV's Daria. We are in season 5. We're down to the final 3 episodes. Plus, is it fall yet? And I'm also on the last episode of the 7th disc of the complete series DVD box set, which means I have to fight with this box set only like maybe 2 more times following this recording, because of what episodes are left. Because disc 8 has only 2 episodes plus the 2 movies and a lot of the extras and stuff like that. Um, any which way, for those who don't know at this point, if you don't know how I do this, I do a running commentary. This is uncut. You know I'm watching the episode from start to finish. Hence why this box is here, blurred with little thing over it, because yeah, right. So yeah, everything's uncut. And normally I do the recordings of these episodes 2 at a time. This is the third episode I'm recording on the same day. Again, for those, hence the same shirt for the third episode in a row, because this week's episode we're watching is Prize Fighters. Um, and I don't recall anything about this episode off the top of my head. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets featured at this point in time, or who's going to get some character development or screen time, because in the last 2 episodes, we kind of saw like Upchuck get like some major screen time 2 episodes ago in Life in the Past Lane, and Stacy from the Fashion Club getting major screen time in a central portion and some plot focus as well, in both in Life in the Past Lane and Aunt Nauseum. Um, so it's I'm kind of interested to see what the Prize Fighters is going to be, because again, I don't remember much of season 5 because I was graduating high school. Matter of fact, when season 5 ended was roughly about when my graduation from high school occurred. And the Is It Fall Yet movie did not premiere until like January of 2002. So, yeah. Let's get into it. Prize Fighters. Another episode that's negative, under 21 minutes in length. That's a potato. Oh, Jake is making a salad. Okay, Jake not wanting to do frozen food anymore, want to do salads and stuff. Prime rib. Okay, Jake is actually trying to be reasonable in terms of the food situation, and like purchasing bulk rate. But Jake at the same time making a salad, and is that supposed to be prime rib? Looks like a potato. Oh no, that is a potato. Oh, this is an episode where Daria is going after a scholarship? Holy crap, that's a lot of ribs. That's hot dogs. Those are hot dogs. Crim- Criminals beware. Mime in punishment. You know, a mime is a terrible thing to waste. It's been a while since Helen tried to encourage Daria to do something, at least in terms of like a major plot point continuation. Yeah, Daria, do it for you. Be selfish. Daria is an expert in things. Wry sarcasm. Oh, Jane actually no, Jane does go to college, so she does actually fill out some sort of application at some point. Oh, how would you change the world if you could? Let's start by removing the mango muso and moron rust. And if you it's funny. In the last episode, towards the end of it, again the last thing we recorded here, I questioned about Jodie not being in any episodes here in season 5, and here she is. And then the more and more I'm thinking about this episode, Jodie and Daria are going to be going head to head for the same scholarship. Is there such a thing as a free $10,000? It'll be wonderful. What the hell is Jane eating? Oh, it's little hot dogs and cocktail weenies. Okay, Jake making the most of the best out of them. What are little pepperonis? I'm curious. How many of those things is Jane going to eat? She's already had at least three. Was Daria born yesterday? No, she wasn't. Daria has this unique naivete. I won't say Daria is naive, but she has her ethics, her morals. Hot dog jalapeno hotties. That sounds awful. You made a mistake? Yeah, you can't argue with the old school computer screens are were kind of fuzzy. Like Helen's trying to peek into the mail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the interview process and stuff, awful. It totally says occupant. I didn't comment it over the last two episodes, but the at the bottom of the screen is not always framed on the close-ups. And Upchuck applied for the same scholarship, so it's Upchuck versus Daria versus Jody. That's an interesting trio of combination of characters. So Jody was expecting Daria not to apply. Wow, Daria asking why would Jody have any feelings? What are they gonna do with these damn hot dogs? Because he trying because the size of that crate was freaking huge. Was nearly the size of a refrigerator. Ooh. Daria's having Pop Tarts, and I keep thinking, you know what? I should have gotten Pop Tarts yesterday when I did the groceries. Jake sneaking off and getting out of Dodge once again. Damn it! Now I want Pop Tarts. I'm not even serious. I'm seeing it there sitting on the counter. Daria, don't let it sit there. Pick it up. Chomp on it. Yes, scholarships can be bought. Upchuck is going to have charts, graphs, and dancing animals. Give him the scholarship right now. This is actually the most conversation words exchange Daria and Upchuck have had in a while. Wasabi gummy fish. That sounds terrible, Upchuck. That's some really weird musical cues for this episode too. There's a chocolate cake, and James is stealing that chocolate cake. Uh, now, yeah, Jane is just going at it in its own way, but this is a tough episode too of running commentary on because it. Yeah, this again, I was about to say this is a very tough episode to do a running commentary on because so much of it is revolving around the scholarship issue, and it's as someone who didn't go to college or even was very much discouraged from even pursuing such a route. It's kind of it's interesting, but at the same time, it's not something that it's really holding my attention all that much. Daria is a jaded high school snot. No, she's not a snot. It was helpful. And there is something about that I have noticed with this episode is like the proportion of Daria's head to her body seems to be changing on different shots. Daria leaps. Well, she swears, but she doesn't leap. But yeah, but this whole thing, this episode is really more about Daria's like moral center in terms of applying for a scholarship, being coached up, and everything. Holy shit! Jody's eyes went in two separate directions. Oh wow! Upchuck wood. There, there was something particularly odd about Jody's father's face, and it's like there is something weird about the way his nose is drawn. Like he has three nostril. He's quasi Luther King Jr. That's what it is there. Doctor Donata. Why does he look like Sigmund Freud? Freud? Sigmund Freud is what I was looking for, not for Freud. Project project. That is kind of weird. Is like is why my lack of success is because I don't do any of those things. I don't dress for success. I don't really project myself as a winner. So it's like I'm getting like a little bit self reflective here with this episode. Daria's gonna wear exactly what she normally wears. Ja- Jane is totally being like Jane's role in this episode is really weird because oh Jane is feeling inferior for some strange. But, but Jane is quite Jane in her own way is quite well is artistically intelligent in terms of like where her skills and talents and stuff go. Oh my goodness, Jody giving like the most generic answer possible. Yep, Darius keeping it straight and to the point. Jody sounds completely soulless. Wow, that's probably the longest half hour of the interviewer's life. I was like Upchuck and Jody are trying way too damn hard. Oh, and Daria going right for the juggler. No, she doesn't have an attitude problem. She's being honest. She's being truthful. That wasn't a spoof, and none of them went of it. Yes. Yeah, there's no question why Daria didn't get it. But Daria wanted it on her. Daria wanted the scholarship on her terms. I could, and I can't believe it's not butter. So it's yeah, it's Upcheck is so upset. Okay, so Jane was feeling left out. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying a few moments ago. Incoherently, I was saying it, but Jane's good at what she's good at. In her academic, she's not academically inclined. Oh, Jake Morgendorfer consulting hot dog eating contest. Oh wow, that's a ton of hot dogs. Oh, the three J's, Kevin and Mr. DiMartino are competing against each other. Eat, eat, eat. Well, at least there was some resolution to the hot dog subplot. But yeah, this well, a very truthful episode in terms of the whole scholarship plot line. Daria finding a scholarship that she can apply for was seemingly like this was an essay and everything. And Jane being like feeling completely left out because it's not something that she could strive for in her own way. Um, it's a very grounded and straightforward episode, start to finish. Daria is like who's normally is not one to compete and wants to do things based on her own merit and her not being totally comfortable in lowering herself to the standard norms that come uh with that type of high pressure competition. It's like, oh, you got to talk a certain way, you got to dress a certain way, you got to to the whole concept of conforming into some dated uh falsehood. It's something that not just applies to college applications and scholarships and everything. You see that when you just go out for interviews and everything. And like I said, it's something that I've always struggled with. Like, yeah, sure, I can like totally jazz myself up in terms of my looks, shaving, get my hair done, and everything of that sort. But at the same time, as soon as I open my mouth, it's typically uh uh well, the odds are always going to be against me because I talk a certain way. Like I phrase things a certain way, and it's not going to not going to be appealing. So you try to do things. You hope that the merit and the things that you've done makes up for those shortcomings. In the case, so that's just like, and so I'm getting self-reflective in that way. It's a fine, but the episode stuff it's fine for what it is. It's just not something that's it, there's really not much that stands out about the actual episode itself. It there's not much in it in the terms of humor outside of like the situation with Jake and the hot dogs and at least having a nice little. It's a B plot that doesn't really go anywhere. Um, beyond like a few throwaway lines over how he's trying to like deal, like deal with this massive crate full of wieners, and says like, okay, a hot dog eating contest is a great way to offload a bunch of them. But all in all, it's it's a pretty if you think back to the early episodes of Daria, it kind of maybe shows how far Daria can- has developed as a character, where she would find herself competitive, but her own morals conflict with the situation at hand. It's like there's been numerous times where Daria goes along with something or seemingly goes along with something, but then veers off the course because of a realization or it just conflicts with who she is as a character. Upchuck getting a nice little spotlight here as being portrayed more of of a suck up is it's kind of well appropriate for him. It's also disappointing. Uh, Well, at the same time, we've kind of seen Jody being that. I hate to say it, but we there has been numerous instances where Jody will throw out her morals, uh, regardless for what she wants. We have seen that over the course of the series. Remember, one of Jody's first appearances was the episode when they go to the mall and she basically gets whatever issues that she has basically gets tossed out when you're given like a coupon to go get anything at a random store or what have you. So we kind of see like Jody can be bought and that she will say and do anything to get ahead. That she is a conformist outright. Um, Beyond that, there's really not much else here to talk about this episode, unfortunately. Anyway, with that said, there are 2 episodes left. Plus, is it fall yet? I, because I recorded 3 episodes back to back to back, all on the same day. After this gets uploaded, I'm going to take me a nap. So, with that said, tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe, have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe if you're so inclined, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye, folks.